Or am I just practicing preventive medicine? Now, once your symptoms are gone and you're now practicing preventive medicine, a little couple ounces of colloidal silver a day, I think, is more than adequate.
Yes, I just have a couple of questions. Why is the particle side, or the parts per million, so significant?
They have found that above 18 parts per million, there is no change in the rate in which it kills the bacteria. There is a slight change in the speed at which it kills the bacteria. So instead of 15 minutes, it did it in 8 minutes or in 3 minutes. But again, you're talking overkill. Do you need an atomic bomb to maybe just knock out a little infection? So what we're talking about is really, I would say that you would never want to cook it longer to get what we would consider 20 parts per million. I do not think that that's necessary to go over. And most of the time, you're really talking about 5 to maybe 6 parts per million. The normal person, 3 to 5 parts per million is totally adequate for most of our uses. Again, if someone's symptoms, if they're attempting to really alleviate a specific symptom or an infection, they might choose to do a higher parts per million. But once again, that you're in this preventive medicine and you're healthy and you're doing all of the things that promote health, 5 parts per million, a couple ounces a day is just a very good nutrient, nature's antibiotic again. More questions?
I understand there's 2 methods to make colloidal silver, one with salt and one without. What are the differences?
We have found that if you really want to use it for long periods of time, that distilled water is the way to go. When you use the salt, what happens? You're making silver chloride. Again, it's a compound. And when you have large compounds, and those compounds are larger molecular size, that's where the risk of the discoloring of the skin or the tissue may come in. When you're using pure distilled water with no other minerals or proteins or albumins or anything in that water, and you're using just the distilled water, you will get high-grade silver that will never cause any problems in discoloration of the skin.
What would be the life of a pair of silver wires?
Only one wire, the silver comes off one wire at a time when you're doing the electrolysis like this. And if you just switch each time you make the colloidal silver, you'll just switch the wires back and forth. This will extend the life greatly. And I'm finding that I make silver every day, and it's lasting well over a year. Now, if you want and you like new wires, that's certainly inexpensive enough to buy. But I think well over a year, if you're making silver every day for your whole family, that it's a very low expense.
Yes, what about the good bacteria in my gut? Now, colloidal silver being antibacterial, is that going to destroy the good stuff as well as the bad?
Well, there is some research that say that may, and there's also some that shows that maybe it does not get destroyed, that the good bacteria uses the colloidal silver in the same way that our white blood cells in our body uses it. So we're not sure. I think a lot more research needs to be done on that. My suggestion is a probiotic is a good thing to take anyway as a daily supplement. Nobody's making their own yogurt anymore. Nobody makes their own pickles. Nobody makes their own sauerkraut. Nobody makes their own cheeses anymore. So this is where we used to get these probiotics. And again, a probiotic is the good bacteria. An antibiotic, which you get from a physician to kill bacteria, is indiscriminate. I don't believe the silver is as indiscriminate, but yet to be on the safe side, always take a probiotic.
Yes, you'd mentioned earlier about the colloidal silver having the ability to sterilize water. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, actually, silver is nature's antibiotic and will actually sterilize or deactivate, kill any known bacteria, anaerobic bacteria. I mean, E. coli and Pseudomonas and all of these different types of very strong bacteria, the silver has been used.
I have given my children colloidal silver, and always with really good results. But my question is, how much would I give them, just to see if I'm giving them the right amount, and is it safe to give them colloidal silver?
Now, that's a very good question, especially for children. One of the things, if you're making the colloidal silver properly so that the particle size is small, now again, in the demonstration we'll go over that. The side effects of the proper kind of silver are none. The side effects for the wrong kind of silver can cause the ageria and discoloration of the skin, or it might have a taste that the kids certainly don't like. But if you make silver properly, there should be no side effect. Now, how much to use? Again, you as the parent have to make that decision. There are no rules and regulations from the FDA or anybody else telling you how to use colloidal silver. So are you using it disease-specific, symptom-specific, or are you using it as part of a preventive medicine, as a nature's natural antibiotic nutrient? If you're using it as a nutrient, 1 or 2 ounces a day is plenty for a child. If they're sick and you think that they might be getting the flu, certainly there's no harm with 3 or 4 ounces a couple, 2 or even 3 times a day. So again, use your own judgment, and it's based on the natural principles. We're not going after a specific symptom. We're going after promoting health. But when you're using it to alleviate a cold or a flu, okay, you can increase the dosage a little bit. Hi, and welcome back again. We're going to demonstrate how to do the ionic colloidal silver. Now, just before I use the machine that's been endorsed by Dr. Bob Beck, let me show you a couple of home units. This is one with a 9-volt battery. You can see the light works when I touch the wires together. A little bit of a corrosion on the wire, but you can see it's certainly adequate. It will work. Because of the 9-volt battery, it may take a little bit while longer to get that 3 to 5 parts per million. The other unit, you can see the silver wire has been attached to alligator clips, easily goes into the water, and you'll be able to use it. Again, another machine. They are adequate. You can get the specs for the machines from Sharing Health on the web and make your own. But again, I really like the unit that's been endorsed by Dr. Bob Beck. You can see I have the water boiling, and it's almost boiled, not quite. It may be ready by the time we put it together. Brown bottle. This is so that you can store your silver. Silver does react with light. It's just like a silver on a Polaroid camera. The film has silver in it. So what you want to do is store all your excess silver in a brown or even these new purple bottles, but it's got to be a dark bottle. So here we are, we're ready. We have the silver wire, and you can see I have it marked with a little red mark. That's just for the ease of the demonstration. And what I usually do is take the emery that comes with it, and I want to clean the wire first very quickly, just a few swipes of the wire, and to get all the oxides, the silver oxides off. And I have the unit, and you can see it's a simple unit. Undo the wires. Now here's the little clip, and you just move the clip out of the way. You can also see here's the little holes for the wire. Our water's almost ready. We take and we put the wire into the little hole. You can see I just move the clip out of the way, and the wire comes in, letting go of the clip, and the wire stays. Same thing here. I'm going to put it in. And again, you can see I move the clip. Here it is. Now, our water is boiling. You want to be careful. Very important. This is on the hot plate. These are safety devices so that the glass won't break. I just want to show you to make sure you use that. Here's our Pyrex container. It's on a piece of cork because it is hot. You can also get a little coffee warmer that you can get at any office supply, so that this, the things that sit on your office and your desk to keep your coffee or tea warm. And you put this right on that before